Let me open the page.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Das Prabhuji. Can you hear us or is it?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought I was about to leave the meeting and rejoin again. I thought some problem from our side.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We can hear it now.
Yeah, sorry. I think there's a problem internet on my side, but now you're able to hear again?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you again.
Okay. Fine. Let's start then. Varsha Mataji, if you're there, can you please check if the streaming is on all?
The YouTube streaming, Prabhuji, yeah, it's on.
It's on Facebook. Anyway, later I can manage it. Let's go to verse 34. And then from here we'll read. So, Rahul Prabhu, Radhika Mataji, would you please?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Did I share the screen? No. Yeah, it's all set.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 34. When she thought of her great husband, the best of the sages, Kardama Muni, who was very dear to her, she, along with all the maidservants, at once appeared where he was. Text 35. She was amazed to find herself surrounded by 1,000 maids in the presence of her husband and to witness his yogic power. The sage could see that Devahūti had washed herself clean and was shining forth as though no longer his former wife. She had regained her own original beauty as the daughter of a prince. Dressed in excellent robes, her charming breasts duly girded, she was waited upon by 1,000 Gandharva girls. O destroyer of the enemy, his fondness for her grew, and he placed her on the aerial mansion. Though seemingly attached to his beloved consort while served by the Gandharva girls, the sage did not lose his glory, which was mastery over himself. In the aerial mansion, Kardama Muni, with his consort, shone as charmingly as the moon in the midst of the stars in the sky, which cause rows of lilies to open in ponds at night. In the aerial mansion, he traveled to the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru, which were rendered all the more beautiful by cool, gentle, fragrant breezes that stimulated passion. In these valleys, the treasurer of the gods, Kuvera, surrounded by beautiful women and praised by the Siddhas, generally enjoys pleasure. Kardama Muni, also surrounded by the beautiful damsels, and his wife went there and enjoyed for many, many years. Satisfied by his wife, he enjoyed in that aerial mansion not only on Mount Meru but in different gardens known as Vaishrambaka, Surasana, Nandana, Pushpa Bhadraka, and Chaitrarathya, and by the Manas Sarovar lake. He traveled in that way through the various planets as the air passes uncontrolled in every direction. Coursing through the air in that great and splendid aerial mansion, which could fly at his will, he surpassed even the demigods. What is difficult to achieve for determined men who have taken refuge to the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet? His feet are the source of sacred rivers like the Ganges, which put an end to the dangers of mundane life. After showing his wife the globe of the universe and its different arrangements, full of many wonders, the great yogi Kardama Muni returned to his own hermitage. After coming back to his hermitage, he divided himself into 9 personalities just to give pleasure to Devahūti, the daughter of Manu, who was eager for sex life. In that way, he enjoyed with her for many, many years, which passed just like a moment. In that aerial mansion, Devahūti, in the company of her handsome husband, situated on an excellent bed that increased sexual desires, could not realize how much time was passing. While the couple who eagerly longed for sexual pleasure were thus enjoying themselves by virtue of mystic powers, 100 autumns passed like a brief span of time. The powerful Kardama Muni was the knower of everyone's heart, and he could grant whatever one desired. Knowing the spiritual soul, he regarded her as half of his body. Dividing himself into 9 forms, he impregnated Devahūti with 9 discharges of semen. Immediately afterward, on the same day, Devahūti gave birth to 9 female children, all charming in every limb and fragrant with the scent of the red lotus flower. When she saw her husband about to leave home, she smiled externally, but at heart she was agitated and distressed. She stood and scratched the ground with her foot, which was radiant with the luster of her gem-like nails. Her head bent down. She spoke in slow yet charming accents, suppressing her tears. Sri Devahūti said, "My lord, you have fulfilled all the promises you gave me. Yet, because I am your surrendered soul, you should give me fearlessness too. My dear Brahmana, as far as your daughters are concerned, they will find their own suitable husbands and go away to their respective homes. But who will give me solace after your departure as a sannyasi? Until now, we have simply wasted so much of our time in sense gratification, neglecting to cultivate knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Not knowing your transcendental situation, I have loved you while remaining attached to the objects of the senses. Nonetheless, let the affinity I have developed for you rid me of all fear. Association for sense gratification is certainly the path of bondage, but the same type of association performed with a saintly person leads to the path of liberation, even if performed without knowledge. Anyone whose work is not meant to elevate him to religious life, anyone whose religious ritualistic performances do not raise him to renunciation, and anyone situated in renunciation that does not lead him to devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead must be considered dead, although he is breathing. My Lord, surely I have been solidly cheated by the insurmountable illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For in spite of having obtained your association, which gives liberation from material bondage, I did not seek such liberation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rahul Prabhu, thank you very much for reading this
Thank
wonderful
you.
part of Bhagavatam. Any things you want to share?
Yes, Prabhuji. One thing is, again, it goes to the discussion. I think the time aspect on different planet is very different. Yeah. So another part which I would like to talk about is, I think, like Kardama Muni divided himself into 9 parts. So that must be for certain purpose. Although they haven't, I think, detailed out, or maybe it will come in the purports about those 9 daughters and
Yeah.
what's their purpose.
Yeah.
And then I think it is also now, I think, kind of the chapter ends like in halfway, that Devahūti is still um, waiting for a child or son. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's the Kapilam there. So I think probably it will come next chapter. Second.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, this part of the chapter has so many aspects, and let's try to dive in and understand through the purports and commentaries of Srila Prabhupada. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलान् श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललित श्री विशाख अन्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबान्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. हरे कृष्ण. Okay. So just kind of what was before, or the kind of first 33 verses is briefly telling about um, um, how Devahūti was blessed by her husband. This is very nice inspiration. How to lead a grihastha life. Yeah, how to lead a grihastha life. That can be taken from the first, yeah, verses, where we can see the chastity, faithfulness, trust, and all the characters that are required for a wife to serve husband. And the husband's position, yeah, husband's position is not just to take and enjoy, but the second part is what, or even in the first part, yeah, we could see that how Kardama Muni has blessed Devahūti. Yeah. So understanding the sacrifice, understanding the respect that he is being given by his wife, understanding the intimate relationship of Devahūti, the purpose of intimate relationship of his wife, Kardama Muni blessed her, saying that whatever all the powers that I have got, I am giving it to you. So it is in the Grihastha life, it's not just only at taking business, yeah, which is a Grihamedi lifestyle where everyone is looking what can I extract from this. I have my dreams, yeah, whether the children will say I want to become that, I want to become this, or the wife says I want this, I want that, or the husband says it is not about what we want, that we are forcefully getting them, but with love, if we fulfill our desires, that is Grihastha life, where that is possible only when we keep Krishna in the center, when we have one common goal, one like-mindedness of way of living, then it is possible. And here we see a perfect combination in the form of Devahūti, who is not an ordinary woman. She is exalted in all qualities. She is very well qualified. She is the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa. So in that way, and then Kardama Muni was ordinary yogi. He is greater than the mystic yogis. Yeah, this we will come to learn later. Saying so, then let's go into this the part that Rahul Prabhu read. Yeah, when she thought of her great husband, the best of the sages, Kardama Muni, who was very dear to her, she, along with all the maid servants, at once appeared where he was. So there was in the previous verses there is one verse when Kardama Muni has arranged everything. Yeah, what he said, he understood that um, this is the plan or this is the desire of his wife to beget children. So, but her situation, her condition was not so good. Her condition was still weak because she was undergoing severe self-austerities in serving her husband, not caring herself, always neglecting her own health. And that is not conducive for Garbhadhana Sanskar, yeah, that they desire now to do. So what is important is that Kardama Muni has asked her or arranged everything so that she can have a very nice bath. She can get fresh herself, her face beauty is again regained like she was a princess. Yeah, yeah. Kardama Muni still remembers, yeah, her when her parents brought her and were asking for him, yeah, as their son-in-law. So, so I mean that was that, and now here it says, after everything was done in that waters where she entered, yeah, in this what is that Bindu Sarovar, yeah. Uh, then she thought of Kardama Muni, and just a thought itself was enough that she, along with all the maid servants, at once appeared where he was. and she was amazed to find herself surrounded by 1,000 maids in presence of her husband and to witness his yogic power. So this shows that this is also comes in the last few verses. The summary of it is, let me one second. Yeah. Also, yeah. If we see, yeah. When she thought of her husband, then she at once appeared. Devahūti thought herself to be dirty, hmm, and dressed in a very niggardly way. And when her husband asked her to enter the lake, she saw the maids, and they took care of her. Everything was done within the water, and as soon as she thought about her Lord, and without any delay, she was brought before him. These are some of the powers attained by perfect yogis, and they can immediately execute anything they desire. This is few verses gives us an understanding of the mystic powers of great yogis, and also differentiate Kardama Muni beyond that. Yeah, she was amazed to find herself surrounded by 1,000 maids in the presence of her husband. Uh, Devotee saw everything is miraculously done. Yeah, so she understood that nothing was impossible for a yogi like Kardama Muni. Uh, she felt she got an no, she got a strong conviction that my husband, has attained such great powers that nothing is impossible. And then, as the sage could see, Devavati was washed clean herself. She was very beautiful, dressed in excellent robes, her charming breast duly girded. She was waited upon by 1,000 Gandharva girls. So, all these preparations are arranged so that they can engage in sex life, which is, Krishna says, yeah, it's not an disgusting, embarrassing, or guilty kind of act. But if it is done with the right intention, with the right purpose, with the right um, end result, yeah, then it is none other than Krishna. Krishna himself declares so. So before her marriage, Devahūti was brought by her, this I just said. She regained her beauty, and Kardamamuni felt attracted to the beauty she had uh, shown before the marriage. And in this connection, um, in the purport, we come across that, yeah, what is, no, did I miss something? Oh no, one verse before. Yeah, here it is saying that. After being bathed by the Gandharva girls by the order of Kardamuni, she regained her beauty, and Kardamuni felt attracted to the beauty she had shown before the marriage. And then the real beauty of a young woman is her breasts. When Kardamuni saw the breasts of his wife so nicely decorated, increasing her beauty many times, he was attracted even though he was a great sage. And in this connections, the reference Prabhupada mentions is about Sripad Shankaracharya, yeah, where it's said that warned the transcendentalist, yeah, the one who are on the path of liberation, who want to attain moksha, yeah, that one who is after transcendental realization should not be attracted by the raised breasts of a woman because they are nothing but an interaction of fat and blood within the body. And in this connection, I also remember this that Sripad Shankaracharya mentions that when a beautiful girl walks on the street, then three people will be attracted in three different ways. That a young boy is attracted how to have a dating with this beautiful, charming lady, and how a dog is thinking that, oh, it's the, yeah, nice meat that is walking. How can I enjoy the meat of the he wouldn't even see that as a girl or a beautiful lady. The dog would simply think at as a food if it can eat and enjoy. Uh, and then, of course, there is a high risk. None of the plans of the dog or the young boy may be, yeah, fulfilled. And the sage is seeing that, yeah, this what is walking on the street is a bag of blood and bones, and yeah, so which is more close to reality, and he's not attracted. So the same object, how the three people are perceiving, Adi Shankaracharya has mentioned, and in this connection here also, yeah, one who is on the path of self-realization, one who wants to be practicing Krishna consciousness, should not be attracted by the bodily features of other opposite sex. Whether it is a girl attracted to the boy or a boy attracted to the girl, it should not be so. Why? Because in the path of realization, self-realization, this can become simply an obstacle. Because this body, yeah, we have to understand is um, Maya Shakti, yeah, illusory energy. It's not fake or it's not false. This body is real. It's not that no, this is only mithya. This is real, but this reality is not that compared to the reality we are thinking. Yeah, we are thinking that we are the enjoyers, but what we are thinking that this body is what is by through this body we can enjoy. Uh, but for the spiritual bliss and happiness, one need not engage in such activities and can still have extreme uh, topmost bliss, yeah, or ananda, and that too forever. And if one focuses on attaining the ultimate goal of life, these things should be taken care that not to be attracted. Okay, and then and yeah, so and then everything is arranged, and now in there is this wonderful aerial mansion. The aerial mansion we can't even imagine nowadays. Of course, people are making wonderful, what is it called, aeroplanes where or a private jet planes where all the facilities are within the flight. Yeah, so that they can, while they are enjoying their life, they can travel to different places. Yeah, but it's not anywhere comparable to the aerial mansion that Kardama Muni has manifested with yogic power. This mansion has so many layers and so many rooms and of different valuable precious gems and diamonds, and the columns are very beautiful, and there are pools. Yeah, so in that way, and then with that, on a full moon night, the stars and yeah, here the comparison is given. In the aerial mansion, Kardamuni with his consorts shone as charmingly as the moon in the midst of stars in sky, huh? Which causes rows of lilies to open in ponds at night. So this comparison given is Kardamamuni is the moon, and his wife and all the maids are the stars, and everything looks a perfect constellation. So in that way, surrounding them appeared Kardamuni, and surrounded by them appeared like the moon and stars on full moon night. Yeah, and then in the aerial mansion, he traveled to the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru. Yeah, and this here we see that Kuvera, surrounded by beautiful women and praised by Siddhas, generally enjoys pleasure. So these are the places where the demigods they come, and then one of demigod who is Kubera, uh, who is in charge of different directions. One of the direction, and in the purport, Prabhupada mentions who is the owner of which direction. Agni is in charge of southeastern, Yama is in charge of southern, Nairuti is in charge of southwestern part of the universe, Varuna, the demigod in charge of water, is in charge of the western portion. Did I? So Vayu controls the air, and who has wings to travel in the air, is in charge of northwestern part of the universe, and Kubera, the treasurer of demigods, is in charge of northern part of. mm. All the all these demigods take pleasure in the valley of Mount Meru, yeah, which is situated somewhere between the sun and the earth. Yeah, in the aerial mansion, Kardama Muni traveled throughout the eight directions controlled by different demigods. And as the demigods go to Mount Meru, he also went there to enjoy life. It is something like, okay, there is some special place where it increases the appetite of sensual pleasures. Uh, um, so that being Mount Meru, they were there. One who is surrounded by beautiful young girls, sex stimulation naturally becomes prominent. Kardama Muni was sexually stimulated. Yeah, but we have to. But his sex indulgence was praised by many siddhas, beings who have attained perfection. Why? Because it was intended to produce good progeny for good of universal affairs. Let's understand how it is later. So satisfied by his wife, he enjoyed in that aerial mansion not only on Mount Meru but in different gardens called Vaishrambaka, Surasana, Nandana, Pushpabhadraka, Chaitraratya, and at the Manasa Sarovar. Yeah, and then it proceeds. He traveled to uh, various planets. The air passes uncontrolled in every direction. There is no very freely going, and to that extent, he was even traveling. Even the devatas, they cannot. Uh, the planets occupied by demigods are restricted to their own orbits, but Kardama Muni could travel all over the different directions of the universe without restriction. Uh, and we living entities who are within the universe are called conditioned souls. Why? That is, they are not free to move everywhere. We are inhabitants of earth means we cannot move freely to other planets. Of course, yeah, we have great people who are trying to find ways of how we can travel and to other planets. Yeah, they are sending space shuttles and also even domestic. Yeah, it might be coming up, but this is not the same as traveling of Kardama Muni to different planets. Yeah, one may go there, and the purport it is said it is impossible to travel to any other planets because by the laws of nature, even the demigods cannot move from one planet to another. But Kardama Muni, by his yogic power, so it is not through the fossil fuel or is it not through the liquid fuel or whatever atomic fuel, all these fuels through which one can reach to the planets, but it is through yogic power could surpass the strength of the demigods and travel in space in all direction. The comparison here is very suitable. What is the comparison given? Here is the air moving. Yeah, air freely moves, and similarly, Kardama Muni, with his power, he was able to move around. And now this verse is yeah proof for it. Bhagavatam it says, Kim durapadam tesham pumsam uddama chetasam yair ashritas tirthapadas charano vyasa vyasanartayah uh, uh, artayah. What is this says is what is the difficulty to achieve for determined men who have taken refuge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet. So what is very difficult for us to even imagine how one can create such a mansion. We just immediately there are who cannot. Yeah, I was reading other day about Dr. Radha Krishnan who has written Bhagavad Gita, where it says uh, about oh yesterday we were reading right in the Lilamrit where we came across this point where how Bhagavatam was not presented properly, where they are saying that when it came to Krishna's Rasalila, in order that people understand it correctly, what they have done is they have compromised the greatness of the whole Rasalila. They say that to put Krishna is a good god. Yeah, otherwise, if he is engaging in Rasa Leela, people may think he is perverted and he is not God. They have minimized the importance of or uh, mm, Bhagavatam, like that. Yeah. So, but for one who has taken shelter of the Lord and the Lord Himself, nothing is impossible. And here we see what is the difficulty to achieve for determined men who take refuge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet. So the lotus feet of the Lord is Parandhama. Parandhama. The ultimate goal of one is to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord forever. His feet are the source of sacred rivers like the Ganges. That's why it's called, what is that? Tirtha Padas. Tirtha Padas Charana. What kind of charana are there? They are the tirtha padas. Yeah, the tirtha, the Ganges comes from the toe of his lotus feet. Yeah. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Tirthapada. The Ganges is called a sacred river because it emanates from the toe of Vishnu. The Ganges is meant to eradicate all the material distresses of the conditioned souls. Therefore, nothing is impossible for any living entity who has taken shelter of the holy lotus feet of the Lord. Huh? Just like how we can estimate the glories of taking a holy dip in the Ganges, which can eradicate all distresses, which is the cause of all of our conditioning, all our suffering. When those things are gone, huh, what else? What is left to achieve? It is only the transcendental position and understanding that servant and the eternal servant of the Lord. All this is possible. Therefore, nothing is impossible for any living entity who takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Kardamamuni is special not because this emphasized not because he is great mystic, but because he was a great devotee. Therefore, it is said here that for a great devotee like Kardamamuni, nothing is impossible. And I think next verses it will come more. Although yogis can perform wonderful feats, as Kardamuni has already displayed, Kardamamuni was more than a yogi because he was a great devotee of the Lord. Therefore, he was more glorious than an ordinary yogi. And in, of course, Bhagavad Gita, we have this, right? Yoginam api sarvesham. Yeah, out of many yogis, he who is a devotee of the Lord is first class. So here this is what we understand. Therefore, a word vyasana. We know that vyasana is bad habit, and of course the meaning here given is vyasana means danger. A bad habit is a danger. Yeah. So vyasana atyayaha. Atyaya means one who takes shelter of the feet of the Lord. Yeah. Uh, vanquishes atyayaha, which vanquishes danger. Vyasana atyayaha. So in that way, this gives us an indication of the glory of Kardama and also helps us to understand that nothing is impossible if we become sincerely positioned at the lotus feet of the Lord. And after showing his wife the globe of the universe and its beautiful in different arrangements, full of many wonders. Uh, so here we see that in this purport there is mention about after traveling the globe. Globe means go. Here it says go. Bhuvo, Bhuvo Gola, Golam, yeah. Bhuvo is of the universe, Golam is the globe. Yeah, this is the reference where we can see that all the planets are here described as Gola, roll, round. Every planet is round, and each planet is a different shelter, just like islands in great ocean. Planets are sometimes called Dvipas or Varsha. This Earth planet is called Bharata Varsha because it was ruled by King Bharat. Another significant word used in this verse is Bhav Ascharyam. Ascharyam, many wonderful things. This indicates that different planets are distributed all over the universe in 8 directions, and each and every one of them is wonderful in itself. This is also referred from Brahma Samhita, Vibhuti Bhinnam. Vibhuti means Aishwarya. Vibhu means opulence. Vibhuti Bhinnam is unique. On each and every planet, there are different opulences. It cannot be expected that one planet is exactly like another. By God's grace, by nature's law, each and every planet is made differently and has different wonderful features. All such wonders were personally experienced by Kardama Muni while he traveled with his wife. Yet, this is the important point that in spite of traveling, he was not carried away that, wow, it's so great, just I want to stay here. I want to, what do you call, what we call this? Settle here. No, he was not attracted. What he, indeed, he could return again to his humble hermitage. He showed his princess wife that although he was living in hermitage, he had the power to go everywhere and do anything by mystic yoga. That is the power of yoga. One cannot become a perfect yogi simply by showing some sitting postures, nor by sitting by such sitting postures or so-called meditation can one become God. Foolish persons are misled into believing that simply by some caricature of meditation and sitting postures one can become God within 6 months. So here is referred, and there is another example of Durvasa Muni, yeah, who also traveled in space. Actually, the perfect yogi can do, but even if one, this is telling about the position of the Lord. This will again with practical, concrete example later will be um, confirmed. But even if one can travel all over the universe and show wonderful feats like Kardama Muni, he cannot be compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose power and inconceivable energy can neither and never be attained by any conditioned or liberated soul. So there is no understanding of merging with the Lord or becoming the Lord like the Mayavadis think, or or sacrificing the spiritual identity, or sacrificing our own identity and merging. These, the good example here is just like straws. When two straws or three straws come together, they do not become one straw. Yes, they come in contact. Yeah. So by reaching the higher position, we are not becoming one with the Lord, but we are still having our identity because we are eternal beings. And the Lord is also, and we are part and parcel of that supreme eternal identity. By the action of Kardama Muni, we can understand that in spite of his immense mystic power, he remained a devotee of the Lord. That is the real position of every living entity. What is the real position? It doesn't matter how many mystic powers that we acquire, how great we are, how powerful we are. All this doesn't matter. Huh? What matters is that, yeah, just in the case of Kardama, he remained a devotee of the Lord. So what may happen is when we know that different faiths, different people go to different gods, demigods to worship and gain benefits. I think there will be later coming, I think 56th verse or even 50 somewhere to explain what is the effect of getting boons, what we should do, what we should not do. Uh, but important is even when we get these things, we should not forget that we are servants of the Lord and engage in service. It's not like now, after all, just like my goal is to become materially comforted. After attaining that, I will not do anything. No, we still want to work because the nature is that we always want to serve. Yeah? Of course, we don't want to have the tag that we are serving someone, but whether we know or do not know, we are serving some way or the other, someone or the other. So in that way, some form or the other form, we are always serving. Why? Because the real position is to be servant. And but servant of what? To our senses or to the Lord. Uh, Here Kardama Muni demonstrates that he remained a devotee of the Lord. That is the real position of every living entity. Yeah. So that is the real position of the Lord. And then after coming back to his hermitage, he divided himself into 9 personalities. Yeah, I think who was that? Rahul Prabhu was saying, okay, what is the significance of this? Yeah. Yeah, let's take the help of the purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I don't know if it's with me. I can't hear you properly.
Now are you able to hear?
Yes, for me too, also not able to hear.
Krishna Prabhu, your voice, sorry, but your voice is breaking.
Hare Krishna, now? Is it better?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thanks, Ramesh Prabhu. Yeah. So this 44 verse, yeah, Vibhagya, yeah, like dividing, Vibhajan, yeah, to divide, Navadha into 9, Atmanam, himself, Yeah, so here we see that for what? Surata, for sex life. Uh, Utsukam, eager, Utsukta, yeah, we say. And in that, Rama, yeah, we'll come to that detail later. Here we are talking about that Surato yeah, so that eagerness of sex life here mentioned. Here, the daughter of Swayambhu Manu Devahūti is described as having, after traveling with her husband all over the universe and beautiful gardens, etc., she naturally becomes sexually stimulated. And in order to satisfy her sexual desire, Kardamamuni expanded himself into 9 forms. Yeah, here it is mentioned that Kardama Muni with his mystic power has expanded into 9 forms so that he can give pleasure to his wife. Uh, and this is clearly indicated here mm, that, yeah, it is understood that the sexual appetite of a woman is 9 times greater than that of man. That is clearly indicated here. Otherwise, Kardama Muni would have not had no reason to expand himself into 9. Here is another example of yogic power. As the Supreme, here it's mentioned about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he expands in millions of forms. And yogis can also expand up to 9 forms, but not more than that. And Saubhari Muni could expand to 8 forms. But however powerful a yogi may be, he cannot expand himself into more than 8 or 9 forms. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, uh, however, can expand himself into millions of forms. Ananta Rupa. Yeah, Ananta Rupa. This is what is from Brahma Samhita. No one can compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by any conceivable energetic manifestation of power. Now coming to the expansion, and I mean, of course, there is also some other in other purport about I don't know. Someone asked, right? Women are less intelligent. That also topic proper touches on that. But yeah, but this is the emphasis mentioned. But this in Kali Yuga, yeah, has very less sense. Why? Because both men and women who are not well educated in the principles of devotion, huh? Definitely the okay. Uh, what was I telling? Yeah, in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, yeah, if you see, that's why he says that Mahabharata is for women or less intelligent and all. I think there is merely much less difference between men and women of this age because everyone is directed towards sex life and is running behind sensual pleasures. Yeah, and everyone is eager to quest their urges, and for that matter, yeah, here it's the appetite. What Prabhupada here is mentioning about women, yeah. So is on a general psychological point of view, but when we talk about in the age of Kali, yeah, in the Kali Yuga, we see that, yeah, the psychology of enjoying is not so pure for the men as in those yugas where the yogic practices were done, the mind and sense control was exercised, and the schools were teaching how to lead a brahmachari life. So the whole varnashrama system is gone, and due to which, yeah, we should not see that, okay, see, women are like that. No, yeah, everyone is of dragged by this sensual pleasures. And then in the aerial mansion, Devahūti, in the company of her handsome husband, situated on an excellent bed that increased sexual desires, could not realize how much time was passing. Because here we see he enjoyed with her for many, many years, which passed just like a moment. Mm. I don't know if someone messaged me. No network. No, not me. So, while the couple who eagerly longed for sexual pleasures were thus enjoying themselves by virtue of mystic powers, 100 autumns passed just like a brief time span. Yeah, and then um, Kardama Muni And Devahūti, in their sex indulgence, also forgot how time was passing by. And Prabhupada mentions that sex indulgence is so enjoyable for materialistic people that when they enjoy in such activities, they forget how time is passing. And then Kardama Muni could understand Devahūti wanted many children. He could grant whatever one desired. That is the power of of Kardama Muni. And not only that, he can understand what his wife wants, desires, to pleasure, and knowing the spiritual soul, he regarded her as half of his body, dividing himself into 9 forms. He impregnated Devahūti with 9 discharges of semen. Since Kardama Muni could understand that Devahūti wanted many children, at the first chance he begot 9 children at one time. I think in the next verse we see that on the same day, immediately afterward, on the same day, Devahūti gave birth to 9 female children, all charming in every limb and fragrant with scent of red lotus flower. So in this, we see that why it is so. Yeah, in the purport. Devahūti was too sexually excited and therefore she discharged more ova and 9 daughters were born. These are some technical details, but it appears from the circumstances Devahūti was more sexually excited and therefore she had 9 daughters at once. All the daughters, however, were very beautiful and their bodies were nicely formed. Each resembled a lotus flower and was fragrant like a lotus. Yeah. So, then, and now, when her Lord is leaving, when she saw her husband about to leave home, she smiled externally. Why? Because she was feeling unhappy, but at heart she was agitated and distressed. And it is said, I mean, there is also reference from Krishna and gopis. No, not here. Next one. So Kardamuni finished his household affairs quickly by his mystic power. The building of castle in the air, traveling all over the universe with his wife in the company of beautiful girls, and begetting children were finished. And now, according to the promise, to leave home for his real concern of spiritual realization after impregnating his wife, he was about to go away. Uh, and seeing this, Devhuti was disturbed. But to satisfy her husband, she was smiling externally. Uh, and this is what it means from this is when Kardama Muni, one thing is about the pain that Devahūti is going through, but here we see the example of Kardama Muni should be understood very clearly. A person whose main concern is Krishna consciousness, even if he is entrapped in household life, should always be ready to leave household enticement as soon as possible. Yeah, of course. This itself can take a good time to understand this principle when we take in conjunction with Grihastha Ashrama principles. Yeah, we'll discuss if that question comes. Hmm. And then uh, she stood and scratched the floor. I mean, this is the example where even Krishna, I mean, Prabhupada brings from Bhagavatam where the gopis, yeah, these signs were sometimes exhibited by the gopis before Krishna. When the gopis came to the dead of night and Krishna asked them to return to their homes, yeah, the gopis also scratched the ground like this because their mind was very disturbed. So this is the sign of that. And now Devahūti, in that state, she is saying, "My Lord, you have fulfilled all the promises you gave me. Yet, because I am your surrendered soul, you should give me fearlessness too." The role of a husband is to ensure that the wife is fearless. Abhaya. Yeah, I think the word here also is that. Let me see. Yeah, abhaya. Yeah, abhayam datum arhasi. So here she is asking that that fearlessness. This also came in the first part of our last week when we were reading. What is the grace of Lord is fearlessness. So here she is asking, or in one way she is even reminding, okay, that was also what you wanted. So you have fulfilled all promises, Devakhuti requested her husband to grant her something without something which is without fear. Yeah, and here also is mentioned from the fifth canto how one awards fearlessness to his subordinate. Yeah, wife is subordinate to husband. And what is the role of the master or the I mean in this case the husband is to grant fearlessness. One who cannot get free from the clutches of death is dependent, and he should not become a spiritual master, nor a husband, nor a kinsman, nor a father, nor a mother, etc. Huh? So one who cannot get free from the clutches of death is still dependent, and he should not become this. One who is eligible, who can break all the barriers and achieve ultimate goal, he can become a guru, he can become a husband, he can become a father, mother. It is the duty of the superior to give fearlessness to the subordinate. To take charge of someone, therefore, either as father, mother, spiritual master, relative, or husband, what is the goal is one must accept the responsibility to give his what freedom from the fearful situation of material existence. Material existence is always fearful and full of anxiety. So Devahuti is saying, you have given me all sorts of material comfort by your yogic power, and since you are now prepared to go away, you must give me your last award. What is that last one? So that I may get free from this material conditioned life. Yeah. Indirectly, she is saying that I would like to have a son. Yeah. So my dear Brahmana, as far as your daughters are concerned, they will find their own suitable husbands and go away to their respective homes. But who will give me solace after your departure as sannyasi? Until now, until now we have simply wasted so much of our time in sense gratification, neglecting to cultivate knowledge of the Supreme. Hmm. So here it's mentioned, human life is not meant to be wasted. This we have come across multiple times, but nevertheless, this always have to be our reminder that we cannot waste our time, especially given the circumstances we are going through year after year. uh, if we are wasting our time, we are unnecessarily risking uh, our goal. Um, so far, we have these daughters and we have enjoyed material life in the aerial mansion, traveling all over the universe. These boons have come by your grace, but they have all been for sense gratification. Now there must be something for my spiritual advancement. Tell me how can I free myself? How can I make my life successful? How can I be fearless? Please grant that. Now, not knowing your transcendental situation, I have loved you while remaining attached to the objects of senses. Yeah, but I know how great you are now. Nonetheless, let the affinity I have developed for you rid me of all fear. I think in this purport is mentioned that she desires son. No, next one. So, but this is very, 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 very important. Yeah, there are three levels. Devotee is lamenting her position. As a woman, she had to love someone. Somehow or other, she came to love Kardamamuni. But without knowing of his spiritual advancement, Kardamamuni could understand Devahuti's hearts. Generally, all women desire material enjoyment. They are called less intelligent because they are mostly prone to material enjoyment. Devahuti laments because her husband had given her the best kind of material enjoyment, but she did not know that he was so advanced in spiritual realization. Yeah. So here, one aspect that we see here is that generally all women desire material enjoyment. They are called less intelligent because they are mostly prone to material enjoyment. I was stuck here for some time to see how it relates. Yeah, is it? And then by further, I mean, maybe I'm still not qualified to speak of this, but the dealings that we come across of women, we see that compared to men, they are more attracted to uh, jewels or ornaments or mm, position or name or so these things, yeah, which are more material objects or material things, yeah, and also a feeling of having my, this is my, that feeling is also strong in women compared to men. um, this, which is what I see here as mentioned material enjoyment. Yeah? For example, we see that the mother is very much attached to children. Yeah, that yes, even if the child makes mistake, he's my child. Yeah, so no one should comment, no one should blame him or her. Yeah? Whereas a father would say, hey, there is genuine thing that has happened, and the child should reform, so develop and become a good person. Sometimes I don't know, have anyone heard? I think Chanakya Pandit refers to that, um, the caretaking of mother, yeah, out of her affection. Oh no, in Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj says that out of affection, the mother may spoil the child. So this is also, um, it's not great about the son, it's not great about the mother. You want that the the pride should not be disturbed, which is pride is a material enjoyment thing. And what was the other example about ornaments, identity in the society, um, these things, and yeah, this is what is called adambara, yeah, or vanity, yeah, is also more exhibited by women. And of course, I duly request everyone here, yeah, this is general qualities of women. I'm not telling about every woman, but in general, I don't know, even in, yeah, and even Prabhupada is mentioning it, generally all women. So we are not talking about some specific great personalities who have broken such barriers and have understood the reality by the grace of, I mean, that also comes, yeah, by the association of devotees, understand the real purpose of life is not the material enjoyment, yeah, but otherwise they are, yeah, prone to material enjoyment more compared to men. Yeah. Okay, again, if there is something we want to discuss about this, yeah, we can touch again later. Please, everyone, make a note if you want to cover this in further detail. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya says that Sadhu Sangha, the association of great saintly person, is very important because even if one is not advanced in knowledge, yeah, less intelligent people like us, if we are not advanced in knowledge, simply by association with a great saintly person, one can immediately make considerable advancement in spiritual life. As a woman, as an ordinary wife, Devahūti became attached to Kardama Muni in order to satisfy her sense enjoyment and other material necessities. But now she wants, but actually she associated with great personality. Now she understood this and she wanted to utilize the advantage of association of her great husband. Yeah, where am I now? This is again very important verse 55. It says, Sangoya samsmriter hetur atastu asatsu vihito diya sa eva sadhushu kruto nisangatvaya kalpate. Yeah, nisangatvaya means liberation. Sangha means to associate. Nisangatvaya means to liberation. It leads. What is that? Association for sense gratification is certainly the path of bondage. But the same type of association, yeah, we are talking about Grahamedi and Grahastha, performed with a saintly person leads to the path of liberation, even if performed without knowledge. And the example given is fire, I think. Let me go through that. The association of saint, this gives us three levels. Yeah, association of a saintly person in any way bears the same result. For example, Lord Krishna met many kinds of living entities, and some treated him as enemy, some treated him as an agent for sense gratification. It is generally said that the gopis were attached to Krishna for sense attraction, and yet they became first-class devotees of Lord. Kamsa, Shishupal, Dantavakra, and other demons, however, were related to Krishna as enemies, But whether they associated with Krishna as enemies or for sense gratification, out of fear or as pure devotees, they all got liberation. That is the result of association with the Lord. Even if one does not understand who he is, the results have the same efficacy. And the example given here is, yeah, the fire will make one warm. Yeah. Association of great saintly persons also results in liberation, just as whether one goes towards fire knowingly or unknowingly, the fire will make one warm. Devahūti expressed her gratefulness for although she wanted to associate with Kadamamuni only for sense gratification, because he was spiritually great, she was sure to be liberated by his benediction. So one should not miss that great opportunity. And then here it says, Nehayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirtha pada. Yeah, again this word is come. Na tirtha pada sevai jivan api mruto hi saha. What is it equivalent to? What is it? It's just waste of time. Is anyone whose work is not meant to elevate him to religious life. Anyone whose religious ritualistic performances do not raise him to renunciation, and anyone situated in renunciation that does not lead him to devotional service must consider like what? Mrita, dead. Jivan Mrita. Though he is alive, he is dead. Although he is breathing. This is so here there are anyone who works. Yeah, this is from a very primitive position or initial position. What is that? Everyone is working. But if that work is not meant to elevate him to religious life, dharmic life, if we are only doing adharmic activities, then it is that we are animals or we are dead. Anyone who is following dharmic path, uh, whose religious ritualistic performance do not raise him to renunciation. By practicing dharma, what should happen is we should develop renunciation. If that renunciation is not happening, uh, that is again a person is considered dead. And anyone situated in renunciation that does not lead him to devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is that? Tirthapada. Must be considered dead, although he is breathing. Yeah, that is translation. Now we go to the purport. Devahuti's statement is that since she was attached to living with her husband for sense gratification, which does not lead to liberation from material entanglement, her life was simply a waste of time. Any work one performs that does not lead to the state of religious life is useless activity. Everyone is by nature inclined to do some sort of work, and when that work leads one to religious life, and religious life leads to renunciation, and renunciation leads one to devotional service, one attains perfection of work. Yeah. Unless one is gradually elevated to the position of devotional service, beginning from his natural activity, he is to be considered a dead body. Work which does not lead one to the understanding of Krishna consciousness is considered useless. Which means just like an object cannot do anything useful. If you have a table, yeah, it cannot do on its own anything unless someone, of course, can come and make use of the table and, yeah, reading Bhagavatam, but the table itself can't do anything. The work which does not lead one to the understanding, which means a dead body cannot work. But even if one is alive and if he does not do work that is required, it is as good as he is dead. I think we are very close to the last verses. Yes. Anyone whose work is not meant to elevate, no, we covered this. So we are in the last one then. Yeah. So, my Lord, surely I have been solidly cheated. And in this case, we come across how and why. Surely I have been solidly cheated by the insurmountable illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For in spite of having obtained your association, which gives liberation from material bondage, I did not seek such liberation. So Devahūti is saying she's first of all, I mean, we have been discussing about Devahūti in last and this chapters, but her position is so great that she is so humble to say that, I was attracted by the sensual pleasures. Indeed, she is very learned and realized. It's not that, but she wants that her husband grant her the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which means the liberation from the material bondage. I did not seek such liberation, she is saying. An intelligent man should utilize good opportunities. The first opportunity, yes, this is again, is the human form of life. To get just a human form of life itself is great opportunity. The second opportunity is to take birth in a suitable family where there is cultivation of spiritual knowledge. That is rarely obtained. The greatest opportunity, even after that, even if one is having a right birth, uh, to have a human birth and again have a right birth, the third one is the greatest opportunity is to have association of a saintly person. Devahūti was conscious that she was born as the daughter of an emperor. She was sufficiently educated and cultured, and at last she got Kardamamuni, a saintly person and a great yogi, as her husband. Still, if she does not get liberation from entanglement of material energy, then certainly she would be cheated by the insurmountable illusory energy. Yeah, this Maya is so powerful that in spite of having everything that is required for perfection, if she didn't manage to release herself from entanglement, she would say that this is illusory energy. And actually, the illusory material energy is cheating everyone. People do not know what they are doing when they worship the material energy in the form of goddess Kali or Durga for material boons. They ask, Mother, give me great riches, give me a good wife, give me fame, give me victory. But such devotees of goddess Maya or Durga do not know that they are being cheated by that goddess. Material achievement is actually no achievement because as soon as one is illusioned by the material gifts, he becomes more and more entangled, and there is no question of liberation. One should be intelligent enough to know how to utilize material assets for the purpose of spiritual realization. That is Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga. Whatever we have, we should use as service to the Supreme Person. It is advised in Bhagavad Gita, Swakarmana tam abhyat abhyachya. One should try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's assets. There are many forms of service to the Supreme Lord, and anyone can render service unto Him according to the best of his ability. So here it is mentioned that what should be our desire? We can be blessed by Goddess Durga. Yeah, we can be blessed by Lord Ganesh. We can be blessed by so many demigods for our. But what should that we ask is very very important. The blessings of great devotees, the blessings of demigods, the blessings of the Lord, all are so powerful as long as we have the right desire, which is to serve the Lord, which is to reach, yeah, to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and get free from the material engagement or entanglement. Yeah. Yeah, in this connection, yeah, when we have this Kali Ma, Durga Devi, yeah, so yeah, she is none other than energy of the Lord, external energy, and there is a purpose. What is the purpose of that? Is to educate people that this material enjoyment is suffering, and and as soon as people who are enjoying, so she is putting into this prison, just like a prison where if someone is irresponsibly enjoying, then he has to be punished. So the superintendent job of punishing is the done by the Lord through the energy of his energy, Maya Shakti, Maya Devi, Durga Devi. So in one way, it's not like she's punishing, she's actually rectifying our faults so that one day we can take on to the path of liberation, of we can take to this path of religious dharmic life, which is the minimum, so that one who comes to this dharmic life and engages in renunciation and engages in the devotional life, yeah, his life will be successful. So Durga Devi is not pleased if someone is killing an animal and giving sacrifice of such animal at the feet of her, huh? just by picturizing herself to be like, she is a meat eater, that itself is very wrong. This comes from the what do you call tantric way of worshipping, but that tantric way of worshipping also has a different intentions and different processes and different purposes, which of course is not at all practical in Kali Yuga. And still, even if it's practical, the ultimate is that she, being the servant of the Lord, always is eager that her devotees are actually engaging in the service of the Lord, not her. But we see, I mean, I come across that in Calcutta, right? There is this Kali temple where, yeah, they see that, yeah, mother is pleased. So they also have in the backside of the temple, they kill or they also make food out of meat and offer it. Anyway, that's not the topic of the day, but yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Are there any points anyone want to add, share, comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for narrating many nice aspects of life, how we should lead. And I was thinking, Prabhuji, so what Kadama Karana, oh sorry, uh, Kadama
Kardama
Muni,
Muni.
Kadama Muni said, or he did, it was just to please his wife, but he was not under the under the influence of Maya. Yeah, he was free from the clutches of Maya. And Prabhuji, what we saw that he was totally detached, yeah, from the Gras life. Yeah, he was just doing to fulfill the purpose of the Supreme Lord. And we hear that many times that we should have developed, we should develop detachment. Yeah, but we generally see that that comes in the life of pure devotees. Yeah, that they see everyone on the same level. Yeah, but the I and my that we usually um, suffer in the household life. So what do we see that we are we are also attached to unwanted things, that my wife, my children. So we cannot see that my children and other children on the same level. Yeah.
Okay. Are you asking? Are you telling? Or
Asking
you
Prabhuji.
finishing?
So I'm asking that is this also unwanted attachment that we have, that my children, my wife, my family, uh, but
So there are two things. One is that, of course, they are our children, yeah, yeah, wife, and relationship is also, yeah, there is. But we have to understand that ultimately, I am just, I mean, everyone is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. It is not that the wife is my property, the child is my property, and engage them in my service, but understanding them all, yeah, are yeah, children of the Lord. So which means either they are produced by us or not, still they are children of the Lord, and because they are children of the Lord, they are brothers and sisters, or yeah, so everyone is. It's not like that's selfish understanding that he is mine, so I favor him more. If you see, when the case of Dhruva Maharaj, yeah, I think Rishabh Prabhu at your home, wonderful program. Yeah, there was this Maharaj was bringing about Dhruva Maharaj, where Dhruva Maharaj was rejected by, yeah, though, yeah, when we are talking about Uttanapad had two wives, Suniti and Surichi, and I forgot what is the Dhruva's brother's name. I don't remember. Yeah. But anyway, so when he was there, he was content with one wife and child. He has his own son. Dhruv Maharaj is also, yeah, is a son of Uttanpad. He didn't, yeah. In that way, we do not think that he is a great yogi because, yeah, see, so much detached that he rejected his son, thinking, no, there was his attachment on some other object. Hmm? But when we are talking about a devotee is seeing that everyone are children. We do not want to discriminate just because on the sense of bodily and bloodly relationship. We see that everything is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and then as a caretaker, as a what do you call, um, yeah, the Lord is the proprietor and we are the caretaker of his assets, and we try to do best of our ability. I don't know, but was that question? Did I
Yeah, I
answer
mean,
your question?
yes, Prabhuji. So from that point of view, okay, we are taking care of the children of the Lord. In that sense, we can have some sense of mind. Okay, they are giving to us, and we should take care. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just like, yeah, you also have your body, right? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
You have anyway the responsibility. First, charity starts at home, right? I mean, I don't know if this saying you are aware of. So, which means that, yeah, we should take care of our body. We should take care of our expansions in the form of family. Yeah. But we are not selfish. We don't want to extract pleasure for us. Yeah, just mere, yeah, material engagement or material entanglement. It should not be like, okay, for pleasure. This is only that to meet our goal as yeah, that we can become liberated and self-realized and take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. For that matter, yeah, we're maintaining all this. It's not that after marriage, nah, oh, this is very time we come across this situation. Some people says, no, this marriage life is, bondage. Let me give up all these things because I'm not able to focus on Krishna. Oh, come on. That was the purpose I got married. No, now, no. What we have to do is we have to still make sure that, yeah, that whatever we have committed, we make it, because that is also has a purpose for our purification, so that we understand that we have to be humble. When we do not develop such a humbleness in our life, yeah, which we can very nicely get this lessons from marriage life, yeah, to become humble, to surrender and all those things, we cannot advance. So marriage should be thought in that way for our advancement in Krishna consciousness, not as a obstacle. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Thank you.
Mm. Because I think when we do not have a maturity, what we may think is this is all, oh, why did I get into marriage life? This marriage life is only suffering. How nice if I have 24 hours time to give to Krishna. Yeah, if we do not have purified enough, 24 hours to ourselves can become more dangerous.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, you're right. So we should, yeah, cultivate this maturity,
Consciousness.
yeah,
Yeah.
consciousness, yeah, and consider all, like all other people also on the same.
Yeah, that should be
Yeah.
definitely there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that should definitely be there, because
I mean,
we
yeah.
want to expand our consciousness level beyond. Because what is the meaning of caring? The care, it means because of concern, right? When you are concerned, you will take care, you will give care, you will attend. Yeah. So this can always go beyond the family. Otherwise, it becomes like the politicians of these days, where they are more concerned of their own assets, their own comforts, not only for them, for their sons, grandsons, great grandsons, and in that way.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, now I mean, if something happens to other family, children, it doesn't affect us. If something happens to our relatives and our family, children, wives, so it affects us. So this,
Yeah, because we do not associate, we are not able to associate to that level with others. As soon as when we associate with others, then we start sharing the goods and and bad moments. Then we start, okay, no, no, can I do something? Uh, that comes out because we are concerned about everyone's welfare.
yes, Prabhuji. But a true devotee or sadhu is concerned for the welfare of all the living entities, yeah? Whether he knows them or not.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
So I think what we are doing is, while we are doing this 6:30 Narsimha Japa, we also want to cultivate that spirit, that we really, really, really care about everyone in our prayers. We really want to pray for everyone, May everyone be blessed by the Lord and reach the ultimate goal of life. That is the prayer that we want to offer. Yeah. And of course, prayers are one thing. Uh, the next thing is to put that into actual practice, right? When an opportunity comes, or when there is, of course, ample opportunities, we have to open our eyes, but we can, to our capacity, yeah, we can always render our hands to everyone, should everyone.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, very nicely explained. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah, Omkareshwar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Very nice,
Krishna, you made
Prabhuji.
it. Hmm,
Yes, 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 Prabhuji. Yes.
nice. Hmm.
Somehow it was Lord's mercy that I could, yeah, made it today. Yeah, but there was appointment. We finished it early and then we joined.
Hmm.
And yes, Prabhuji, actually today's class was also, as always, your classes are very good, wonderful classes. And today many important topics come in the class. Like women, this topic is very famous in ISKCON, like women are less intelligent and compared with the Sudra, Dvij Bandhu and all. But today it was very nice that Prabhupada has also mentioned here, very nicely, I think. And yeah, that those who are those who are less intelligent, they are those who are not absorbed in the Krishna consciousness. So if the woman is absorbed in the Krishna consciousness, then she is not less intelligent.
Yeah.
Only when we are absorbed in the material pleasures or material sense gratification, either it is a man or woman, it doesn't matter. It's that who is that? So they are less intelligent. Even man is less intelligent if he is not Krishna conscious. So
Correct.
so
Yeah.
this is really a very good point. It clarifies all the doubts. And even Prabhuji, I just shared one sloka in the chat that
One thing to this, what you were mentioning, na, something additionally I came to my mind is neither the boys are trained in brahmachari way of living, neither the girls are trained how to lead a married life. Yeah? Both these trainings are missing. So in that
yes,
sense, intelligence is not developed on both sides. Yeah. So and due to which we see catastrophes in form of marriages, marriage breakups, and yeah. So I mean, the society has to somehow bring back this varnashrama system and educate the that what are the qualities need to be there for husband and also for the wife, and then it's fine. And in addition to this, also as you said, this is very common. Yeah, it comes, and if you go to a Westerners, they say, hey, if you say some as soon as someone you call as a Mataji or a woman, they immediately get disturbed. Yeah, because they connect more of their identity not to that level, but they connect more to a level of Vaishnava, which
yes,
is the servant of the Lord. And for a person who is in that position, ideally they should not be disturbed because they should already be tolerant. uh, to if someone is saying that okay, yeah, if Krishna wants to speak those words through them, that's okay, but they should not be disturbed. But if they are not have developed such a level of Vaishnava qualities, right,
yes,
then
Prabhuji.
that means that they are still in the platform of man and woman level.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yes. So I just want to kind of give complete,
Yes, yes,
uh,
yes.
yeah,
Yes,
shape to the
Prabhuji, very,
topic.
very good. Even this happens with me one time. Last time when in Kartik month I was in India, so I was doing some bank work, and
Hmm.
it was always in the mind like Mataji's na. And so I say in the bank, my contact person in the bank, there was a woman. I say Mataji. It comes from my mouth automatically, it's spontaneously Mataji, and she was
Hmm.
staring at me. How come Mataji? Because she was younger. So she was maybe 45 or so. So she thought, oh, he's calling me Mataji. So she was not happy with
Yeah.
my Mataji word.
Yeah. No, that is still fine, but sometimes they say, hey, you should call us also Prabhu. Yeah. Prabhavi or Vaishnavi or so these identities come into place, which
Yes,
yeah, most of them were not there during Prabhupada time. At that time, everyone were energized to think that they are servants of the Lord. They were in really in that spirit. Yeah. So
yes,
yeah, if one is in that level, that's always fine.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, if you have the chance, if you can open this from Bhagavad Gita 10.34, Sloka 10.34, then it becomes very clear that Bhagavan Sri Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, I am the intelligence in woman. So he has said this very clearly in 10.34, but nobody reads that. Everybody reads that, okay, women are in the same platform as Shudra and so on. But in the 10.34, Bhagavan has very clearly mentioned that I am the intelligence in woman. And if Bhagavan is intelligence, then who is more than Bhagavan?
Yeah, yeah. So you're still able to see my screen, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, we can see.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, we are talking here. Mm,
If you go to the translation, yes.
yeah, in the translation, yeah, among women, I am the fame, fortune,
Fortune, fine
fine
speech,
speech,
memory, intelligence.
memory, intelligence. See, all these are great qualities of women. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we are just focusing on the other. Yeah, but actually, Bhagavan has said, and even Chanakya Pandit has also said in one of his sloka that women are generally less intelligent and they are not trustworthy. Chanakya Pandit has said
Yes.
like this. But the
Yeah.
contests are very different. In which context he has used the word, because he is talking about non-Krishna conscious women, probably, which are maybe
No,
more at
no.
that time.
No. Still, the context is in still that psychological level, where this also is exhibited in Mahabharata, where that also comes from that reference where Kunti didn't speak, right? That Karna is her son,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, Yudhishthir was surprised how come such a woman can be like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
probably.
So in one sense, where we see the Kunti, yeah, she is a woman, but she didn't exhibit the normal tendency of sharing, yeah, and which is normal. This comes where uh, when the topics of confidentiality, yeah, matters, yeah, where one is more worried or they would like to the sense of fear, out of sharing, the natural sense of sharing nature is more in women, due to which they say, and that's why in that sharing, yeah, so there is a risk of yeah, what is being shared, so that's why it's not trustworthy. It is not doubting the character, but it is the nature of women, through which because of this sharing nature there is a risk of what can happen.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Kunti Maharani is the best, or there is no more better Krishna consciousness, the Krishna conscious woman than Kunti Maharani, because
Kunti Maharani.
the prayers of Kunti Maharani, the teachings of
Yeah.
Kunti Maharani. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Om
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Rishabh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dharat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, somewhere in between you read that we should, whoever is not not doing activities which is ultimately connecting them aligned to religious life or dharma or param dharma, then they should be considered like animals or must be considered. That was the word in the translation. Must be considered dead. Dead. And at the same time, we have this. We have the philosophy where we say we should always, as a Vaishnava, we should always treat other people with whether they are devotees or not devotees. We should not think ourselves higher of them, and we should always think ourselves the most lowest, right? So how these two things goes hand in hand? At one time we are saying must be considered dead and like an animal, and at the other time we are saying we should give all the jivas the respect, and we should think ourselves as the lowest. So these my mind is one, they are not two people. So if I feed these two inputs inside, the mind goes crazy. He's like, okay, one, I am having a feeling that I should consider this person in front of me like an animal because he's not following Param Dharma and he's not religious at all. But at the same time, I should think myself lowest and lower than this person. So this is really, for me, contradictory for my mind, how to react to people then, how to behave
What
with.
if you have a magic wand to revive dead body?
Hmm.
Hmm? A magic wand. Yeah, you have mystic power of reviving someone from death. But anyway, we'll come to that little later. But coming to your point is, I think we should consider ourselves dead, not we should consider others dead if they don't indulge in dharmic life. That is secondary. First, let's understand that, okay, are we following path? This is a self-introspective verse.
Okay.
Yeah, this is self-introspective to put ourselves, where are we? Are we doing it? Are we dead or not? In that way, to always revive by taking the, just like if you are in sleep, you're not actively doing anything, but yeah, you have to come out of that slumber. And for that coming out of slumber, we need this retrospection to see, huh, okay, am I awake or not, awake or not? Just like if you're driving a car and if you are tired and you want to sleep, yeah, it's very dangerous, right? Yeah, so you need some attention or something that you can again regain your sense or your consciousness. Yeah, when we talk about death means unconscious, you're not conscious about yourself, your real purpose of life. That is what is called death. Yeah. So by putting these questions that, okay, am I doing right thing? If not, I have to do right thing because otherwise I am simply dead. I'm not fulfilling my purpose. Just like an object cannot do anything. But then, as I was saying, the example that if a sadhu is using it, the table for reading Bhagavatam, the purpose of table is fulfilled. So that's why we have to hanker for the association of devotees, so that we, from that dead state, dead matter, we become enlivened, and so that this creeper that Maharaj was mentioning at your home, that this creeper starts growing, and this creeper can go, yeah, it is a perfect network that can penetrate through all these different layers which are 10 times thicker and thicker and thicker, and goes to different planets of, I mean, reaches even Vaikuntha and then even go to Goloka. Yeah. So this is about that. So first self introspection, and now thinking about if, yeah, because our eyes are also seeing others who are not practicing dharma. Yeah, right. For example, if something is happening, we see that which is atheistic way of living, and due to which these are, we are not blind to it. We can see with our eyes, right? And then how to treat them. That comes from what you were saying, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna. Yeah. A dead body doesn't mean that, hey, shit, I have come across it. In our Shastras, we have this, right? If we are going out our house and if we come across a dead body or, someone, yeah, is being carried, we think, hey, it's not auspicious. Yeah, mera din gaya. Yeah. But no, but what we are saying is our understanding of a dead body doesn't mean that it's inauspicious to us. It is our responsibility how we can activate others through the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like how we were. We should believe that, yes, I was in that situation, slowly I am becoming better. I know that so and so person is also in such situation, so we should definitely give respect. It's not that he is dead, so disgusting, or it's not good for me to come across such people. No, no. We should definitely offer our respect. Even a dead body is given still respect, no? Isn't it? A dead body is also given respect. Very nicely dressed up, and yeah, there is always Ram Nam Satya Hai. Flowers are bore, and if he is even great personality, he is even burnt in sandalwood, and even if not, even after that, he is put in a nice memorial, isn't it?
Prabhu, sorry to interrupt you, but I think your PC needs charging.
Yeah, yeah, fine, fine. Yeah. So these both things can still be living together in one man, one mind. What do you say?
Hmm.
So at no point of time we are talking about not giving respect to such people. Yeah, because we have that Mrita Sanjeevani. Yeah, for a dead person who is like a dead person, we have the mercy of the Lord through which we can reactivate such a person. With our mystic powers, nothing will work. But the mystic power of the Lord, everything can work. So we have to bring that power into them. And that is what is preaching. I think Maharaj was telling, your house is so nice, blessed. You can activate so many people around you for that. By the way, it was very nice program. Yeah, you had. We are honored to be there. I didn't get time to call you back, but really had all this time thinking about this program. It was very nice.
Prabhu, it's all your mercy. Yeah.
That is your greatness, yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, that was really a nectar program, very, very nice. And Maharaj was also fully absorbed and given a lot of time for the talk, and Kirtan was also very ecstatic. Yeah, very meditative.
Yeah.
Yes, and Maharaj was very open also in his instructions.
Yeah, very clear direction.
It's all possible because of great guidance and devotees like you. Otherwise, I would have not. It's not possible to arrange such stuff alone. Prabhu, but I have a question connected to that. You said,
Rupa, can you get the charger down?
Yeah, I will bring.
Okay, yeah, go on, Prabhu.
Sorry. So I was saying that
I'm in Keller, na, so that's why.
okay. So what was it? Yeah, you mentioned in between that association is the most important thing of devotees, and that's what I just also said, that without association it's not possible. But the point is, during the program also I realized it's kind of, for me, a bit dangerous, because for a person, for me, who is still in the beginning stage and still very fallen, maybe it's my guilt, and maybe we can talk on phone also later about it in details, but I feel I couldn't sleep at night, or I was having thoughts that maybe I offended multiple devotees in different ways, because of maybe I talked to someone in a rude way, or maybe I did something more aggressively, or more in a more casual way. So
Yeah, put a question. What is it called? 5 eyes, na? So take one, whatever such comes. Yeah, put on this question. Why you think really like that? If you really come with a conclusion, then you should really think and how to rectify or how to address it. If you yourself are just assuming can be very dangerous, because that too very harmful in your case. Procrastinating is a very bad habit. I mean, I don't know if that is the right word in this context also, but thinking that, oh, I am not that is it called self procrastinating? Yeah, experts here can tell me. That always thinking, oh, I am not of that, I'm not doing that, and etc etc. What will it bring without a concrete solid thing of it? If we are really doing it, let's find it out by self introspection or discussing with others, and if really is there, what can we do, take next steps and go on. But in your case, I mean, the program happened so nicely. I didn't see someone disturbed. I didn't feel anything. So, and kids were also rocking in their own room. Even kids cannot be offended. So when kids themselves were not, program was very nice. That's why. So rather cooking our own recipe, yeah, it's better to really, yeah, check. Yeah, so to stop you there, I mean, sorry I stopped you there, but yeah, by putting this question, why, if you can come up with some real, after 5 whys of question, if you still get an answer, it's okay. If you don't get answer, maybe you just park the question for next time.
yeah, I asked for my.
Important is not to dwell in the negatives. Important is to dwell in the positives.
That's true. But I mean, what is the recommendation in that case? I mean, the point is, for sure mistakes can happen, right? When you're indulging with, when you're managing, for example, to organize such events, for gatherings, to associate with devotees, you need to manage, you need to talk to senior devotees, junior devotees, manage stuff. And there's a danger in this fire, because it might be that you hurt someone feeling, and then Maharaj is there, something maybe is not perfect. So there, for sure, there's a lot of auspiciousness, but there's also danger, right? That you might burn someone and burn yourself. So how to balance this? Or do you say it doesn't really matter, the auspiciousness is more greater?
No, no. I mean, from core of your heart, you always should be in this mood of asking forgiveness, knowingly, unknowingly, whatever you have done, please forgive. That should be there. Begging forgiveness should always be there. I'm not saying ignore that part, but you have to move on. That's what I want to tell. That in that feeling of begging forgiveness should be earnest. It's not imitation, and that is also part of our sadhana. We should really ask for forgiveness. And if we can really see a concrete example where we have done something, we can present that example and precisely ask forgiveness. Specific and generic, both. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, thank you. Anything else, Rishabh Prabhu?
No problem. I think you also to answer both the questions. I'm just a little bit still confused about how to usually how to deal with people who are, forget about param dharma, I mean religious principle, who are not even following dharmic principles, just their duties. Sometimes I'm really confused. Sometimes I feel uh, I get that feeling, oh, because I'm going to temple and I'm meeting devotees, I'm better. But this feeling should not come, so I'm struggling with that.
Mm. Yeah, we should only say not better, we should say I'm fortunate. Because in that better feeling, it is ourself we feel better. Yeah. In fortunate, we see that this good, whatever I'm saying, is because of the Lord's mercy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and that is the reason we want to make everyone fortunate. And that's how we work every day for for good fortune all over.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Apu Prabhu, you want to add something?
Do you have any any information about that where the Mono actually lives now?
Who?
Mono,
Manus, where they live?
where they stays now? Because they have to rule 71 Chatur right? 70 or 72 Chatur.
71. Yeah.
But here almost the description is skipped
So,
in the earth.
no. Yeah, there is this Bahirshmati, the palace that he is there, and yeah, he lives there. This is what came last week when we were reading, and in this connection, it is said that he has his palace. I mean, now I don't know whether it is a visible palace or invisible palace.
So that means that he also has a short lifespan, that like
Yeah.
100 years.
100 years based on what calculation? I mean, Earth calculation, you mean?
I'm just asking because normally when we read like a Brahma's one day, like
Yeah,
things
but that is mentioned, na 71 what
Chatur.
is it? Chatur Yugas. That is his
Hmm.
lifespan. Yeah, which is
So
his equivalent to
this
100
is
years.
where he is actually.
Where is he? I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, good question. Maybe
And then he has to
hidden.
rule the earth, 72 Chatur. So that means he is the king. I mean,
What I sense is that, of course, he need not have his own chariots and his own horses and all. Yeah, they also, because of powers that they have, they can also manage things invisibly. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they give the powers through the Vamsha, right? Surya Vamsha, Chandra Vamsha. They are giving, empowering them. Yeah, because that's how if you see in Bhagavad Gita, this fourth chapter, where it says that so and so and connected to Vaivasvan, right? So, Manu. So in that way, they are there who are managing. I don't know where they are residing. I don't know that, but they are empowering the kings who are their representatives and really doing the yeah, active job.
So that means I mean, his kingdom is, I mean, not specifically is mentioned no, that his kingdom is this earth or that beyond that earth.
No, no. It is only mentioned that he went back to his palace city, which is called Bahirshmati. That's it. I don't know where it is. When I
Hare
was
Krishna
reading
Prabhuji.
in Wikipedia, I saw somewhere it was in some Gujarat or somewhere, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Wikipedia, from where, which reference was it put? Something like that.
Mm.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Are we talking, Prabhuji, about Swayambhu Manu?
Yeah, Swayambhu Manu.
So, yeah, probably he doesn't exist anymore because it was the first Manvantar in the
No,
in
no,
that.
we are talking about current Manu, right?
Yeah.
So,
I
So
mean, but,
current is Vivaswan. Yeah. Yeah.
but whatever Monu is there, I mean, he has to be 72. So, I mean, we are trying to understand that, like, what he does actually, he resides. I mean, is in this earth or beyond this earth, something. I mean, I'm confused a little bit about that. So that's
yeah, you added that onto me, huh? Anyway, I will not get confused. Somewhere he will be there. Yeah, he is managing.
Yeah. Even it's not only Manu, there are Saptrishis also. So they are also here.
Yeah.
no,
So
because I just actually Googled it a little bit. Even in Srila Prabhupada also in fifth canto mentioned like Ramayaka Varsha, something like this, where Manu worships Matsya. And because there is also no clear concept is there, so I saw some discussion was there that someone, I mean in ISKCON itself, that someone believes that it's in Jambudip and someone believes that it is outer space of Jambudip, that version. So I mean, not a specific term was there actually mentioned by Srila Prabhupada.
Okay. Maybe you look into this Prabhu na, from UK. I don't remember his name now, but his YouTube channel is quite informative. I think Radha Govind Prabhu, or I don't know. So yeah, maybe if there is some information, this is one, and another one is that from the hidden archaeology in that Prabhu also has put some material on this.
Okay.
Yeah, and another thing is maybe I'll see in the Bhagavat Subodhini fifth canto. If you have, just check, because he also has nice pictures, what is where and etc. Maybe if you find something there.
Fifth canto, I am not sure, Prabhupada. I don't know.
Okay, I have it. I have.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Anyone? And in the context of, yeah, while answering Omkareshwar Prabhu, I missed one very important point about the less intelligent women. Yeah, that intelligence is a factor. Yeah, if someone is intelligent, it needs endeavor, it needs effort, and etc. And at the same time, to be simple is kind of challenging. So women are said very simple hearted. Yeah, and that's why the shastras and etc. uh, are needed for a more logical mind of men, but for a simple heart of women, all these things are not required. In that way, because they do not know, it appears that they are less intelligent, but they are really intelligent. Why? Because they are on a practical note what to do. Yeah. So on the other side, men are learning, acquiring knowledge on the strength of shastras they want to do, but women are more inclined. Yeah. I think last week we were discussing that women have this nature of taking shelter, unlike the men who do not want to take shelter, right? So for women who want to take shelter, that itself, when they approach the right source, or yeah, as shelter, then they are more successful. The practical example is here Kardamamuni Devahūti.
yes, Prabhuji, completely agree. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for adding this aspect. This is the most important aspect, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
actually, I was thinking that this topic will come later in the Q&A, and I can devote some time. But yeah, so to kind of holistically understand and I'm also want to make a very clear statement that this is only on Shastra and understanding and hearing. That's what I'm presenting. Yeah.
Yes.
Except only one that thing that I mentioned, my opinion was like I've seen the level of attraction for women for ornaments and position and selfness. Yeah, that this is also what happens practically when there is this, what is it called, Sas and Bahu. Yeah, the perfect relationship. Yeah, goes where because both want to have their own hold on the son or a husband, and this goes on. Yeah, because the mother doesn't want to lose that hold because she considers him as her possession, and the wife also considers that it is he who I take shelter of him, so I do not want to lose his possession. So in that way the women are having this sense of possessing something as yeah
Yes,
this
Prabhuji.
can go on
Yes,
more and more and more.
I think Devahūti Mata is the best example, Prabhuji, because if you see, like, she is the daughter of Swayambhu Manu, so she was highly qualified, highly very enlightened, and still it will come in chapter 3.25, chapter number 25, that she is so submissive and so she is completely submissive to his son Kapil Dev. And she is asking, I don't know anything, I have no knowledge, I am fallen.
Yeah.
And she is using all these, and she is completely surrendered to his son, her son. And this is the real symbol that she has this shelter attitude, Saranagati. She was in Saranagati even if she was so much intelligent and highly qualified, very qualified. And it looks, Prabhuji, that she has no knowledge, she don't know anything. Yeah, she is not intelligent. It seems from her sentences. But even if she was such a highly intelligent, she says, I don't know anything.
Yeah. That's
Very
again
high.
mercy of the association of sadhu. Yeah.
Yes.
So that is
Yes.
the benefit or benediction.
Yes. And Prabhuji, one more thing, very nice example, like of woman. This is simple-hearted, and so Mata Yasoda, she is not also sastric, very vidwan, and very highly showing Vedic knowledge and all. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he shows his like universal from the millions and billions of universe in his mouth to Mata Yasoda, and he did not show this to Rishi Munis who are doing tapasya for thousands of years, but he saw only to Mata Yasoda. So that means she was qualified. That's the only. That's why Bhagavan Sri Krishna saw to Mata Yasoda, even if she's a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice example.
Yes. The Uma has given me this example. So
Bika Mataji ki jai. Yeah.
thank
And
you.
of course, for that matter, the topmost of devotees are women, right? Gopis. So,
Yes.
okay. Rishabh Prabhu, your hand is still up or done?
Sorry, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. I just raised it again because connecting to the topic of women or men, I mean, independent of the fact whether it's women or men, uh, let's say, for example, if within your own family, whether it's your partner or mother or grandmother, whoever, if you engage with such a person, let's say if we talk focus on this topic, women who's selfish and self-centered and have more materialistic desires, how do we engage with them when they're so close to you and they're within your own family? How do you cannot go to them and say, hey, you are selfish, get enlightened, blah blah blah. If you give them gyan, they will try to run away further, right? So what's the best I mean, of course, a lot of knowledge is there, but what is the practicality of it? How to engage with them?
Yeah, if they have taste for and appreciation and intelligence to take up, yeah, so as I said, na, so uh, everyone is qualified. There is no gender discrimination. Yeah, Prabhupada didn't give only knowledge only to men. He also gave to women. It's not like, okay, because Prabhupada himself is writing, na, women are listening, so let me not teach them. No, he has given. The knowledge is accessible to everyone. If one appreciates it, one can give it. And now when we're talking in Kali Yuga, the coefficient difference between men and women intelligence is very less because we have degraded enough. Just if we have access, because it's something like um, maybe if you have a window out and you can see the sky, and that's why you think you are great, and maybe someone doesn't has a window if they cannot see the sky. If they have the opening, they also have window, they can also see. Isn't it? So, and we should first of all remove this idea that women are less intelligent, because we are already less intelligent. So we are on the same level almost. If we have attained such a great intelligence and if we have understood Shastras properly, then we even come to the position that okay, such yeah, community, women community should be encouraged and given service opportunities and facilitated more. Just like in a family, if there are two kids and one kid is not intelligent, what will we do? We take more care. Yeah, isn't that? We will not make him to sit and say, no, no, you should really understand this. You should really understand this. Then only there is only mukti. There is only no. You will still try to see how you can take care of him. If he cannot take care of himself, we'll support him taking care. Yeah, I mean maybe Krishna is also saying this, that if you take complete shelter of me, then I will preserve what you have. I will fill what you don't have, right? So in that sense, if someone is not able in a position to have the knowledge to understand, our skills to ability to understand what we can do, we definitely still have to take more care, fill in our care in them. Hmm? rather rather we want to inject what do you call, you are an expert developer, by the way. I don't know, are you a developer? Hmm?
No, I mean,
But you know it, right? So you have a very nice compiled Java code and you put it in the compiler for C programming language. Yeah, we see only errors, no? Hmm? But if we make that same logic, which can be parsed by a C processor or a compiler, what do you call? Yeah, debugger, then what is happening? Then it's understandable. So it all depends how we are presenting the same philosophy so that it's understandable at different levels. Anyway, Adiras Prabhu, developer, you should know. You can tell better. Dinesh Prabhu. Anyway, we have here so many developers. Sudhir Prabhu.
What you said is right, Prabhuji. So,
Yeah. So if we are so advanced in intelligence, then we should be able to find a way out so that everyone can understand. Yeah, because this is what Toyota said. The most complexity lies in the simplicity. I don't remember. Something like that. The most sophisticated thing is simplicity, I think. Yeah. To make it very simple is very, very complicated. So if men are super intelligent, we should use that all complicated skills, sophisticatedness in making it simple and present it. Agreed?
yes, bro.
Okay. Then I hope you all enjoyed today's session and looking forward for next. If someone volunteers to read next week, let me know. Next session, next chapter is even interesting. Or next 4 chapters will be a very nice package. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. Vanchakalparabhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grandhara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.